Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Let's Investigate. My name is Victor Haskins, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most important things that trumpet players, brass players need to be able to do, and that is buzzing. Why buzzing? Why is this important, and what is it? So, you may remember from an episode a few weeks back where I talked about hearing music, and music happens in the imagination, okay? Music is an imaginary thing. If we want to have the greatest amount of success manifesting our imaginations into reality, we need to have a strong connection to the physical world. That sounds incredibly metaphysical, but here's what I mean. Music starts here, and it comes out to everyone else's ears here, the bell of the instrument, which means our connection from our mind to the instrument is the mouthpiece and our lips, okay? So we need to strengthen the connection between our lips and the mouthpiece in order to strengthen the connection between our minds and our horn, and therefore people's ears, okay? So buzzing is like singing for your lips. Think about this. Say I were going to play a very common nursery rhyme like Mary Had a Little Lamb. You may or may not be familiar with that melody, but it's a very simple melody, and so now you've heard it, okay? I'll play it one more time. And you can tell me if I'm playing it right now. Right? That wasn't right. That's not it, Chief. Right? That's not it. But we know it's not it because our ears tell us those are the wrong pitches, Vic. Some of the pitches were right and most of them were wrong. So we improve our ear in order to improve our ability to play the music. Because if you can hear it, you can play it. But if you can't hear it, it's not going to come out the horn. Because the horn doesn't operate by just pushing buttons down and blowing air. You do happen to do those two things, pushing buttons and blowing air, but what makes the music is your ears. Because if you're really hearing the music, you theoretically could actually push down all the wrong fingers and still play the right pitches, right? The pitches won't necessarily be centered or super fat in tone, but you could play all the right pitches and not even push any buttons down, okay? Vowels are an advancement that happened to the trumpet, whereas we had crooks and stuff before. But that's a whole nother history lesson that I'm not going to go into. So, buzzing. We need to improve our ability to buzz in order to improve our ability to hear music and to play the horn. This goes for trumpet players, trombone players, tuba players, actual horn players, and here's how we work on it. Let's talk about how we hold the mouthpiece. You're going to hold this cornet mouthpiece is pretty light, so I'm going to just use my index finger and thumb and hold the tip of the shank of the mouthpiece. The shank is the part of the mouthpiece that enters the lead pipe receiver, okay? So I'm going to use just these two fingers to hold it because it's a light mouthpiece, and then I'm going to place it on my embouchure. And the embouchure is your facial configuration that you use to play a wind instrument. Okay, I'm going to place it on there. Now, if I was using a heavier mouthpiece, like my trumpet mouthpiece is a heavyweight mouthpiece, and this I need to use 3 fingers, okay, because 2 fingers is a little too light, and it's like kind of tough for my thumb to hold up. So 3 fingers, once again, just on the tip of the shank of the mouthpiece. I'm not holding it next to the rim, okay, because if you start holding next to the rim, you're going to start to use pressure, and you don't want to do that. When we put the mouthpiece on our face, we only want to use enough pressure to create a seal, okay? And that's the whole point of the mouthpiece, by the way, is to focus our lips so they can do the buzzing. Because I really could play the horn without the mouthpiece. I could just do it without the mouthpiece. Right, but no one wants to hear that right now. There is a practical application for that. It's not here, though. So when we're playing and we're buzzing, we want to have our fingers on the shank and place on our embouchure. And we, of course, want to have good mechanics of posture and breathing. We're not going to talk about that today, but we will at some point. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take, right now, I'm going to play the keyboard and use that to match the pitch of the keyboard. Now, what did I say before? I said music happens in the imagination. Music is also an aural art form, which means that it's using your ears, right? the eyes are an incidental thing. You actually don't need your eyes at all to play music, which is why there's so many amazing blind musicians, because the eyes aren't important for playing music. What's important is your ability to hear the music. So the less you engage your eyes, the more work your ears are going to be able to do, and the better you're going to get at music faster. So don't use a tuner to do this. Okay, I know you can get a tuner and it can tell you when you're in the center of the pitch. Use a drone, and there's plenty of free drone apps you can find on your mobile or online, or if you have a keyboard, you can do it in real time. Just hold down the sustain pedal, and then you can match the pitch. Okay, and you know you're matching the pitch when you don't have wobbles. Like if I had this pitch, okay, I'm matching the pitch. Now if I was not in tune with this and I was like slightly flat, you can hear there's these wobbles between what I'm singing and what's happening with the keyboard. If there's wobbles, and the wobbles mean that the waves of the sound waves are not lining up, right? When they're in tune, then they're both in sync and they're doing like this together, but when they're out of tune, then you have like this kind of thing going on, and that's no bueno. So what I want us to do is we want to match the pitch, and I'm actually going to do this on several different pitches here, so you can do it with me if you so desire. And the idea is that you want to try to be as relaxed as possible while maintaining the pitch. And if you're doing those two things, then you're probably doing it right. Okay, now I don't know what anyone's embouchure setup is like. You might have your own embouchure setup already. I'm trying to gear this video towards beginners and beginner-ish people, or people who need a refresher on some fundamentals. But if you don't have an embouchure setup, the way I like to teach people to do it is I want you to go ah, like you're saying ah, and then go oh. After you say ah, so you go ah, oh, and then bring the lips together and go so ah, oh, right? And that's a good basis to start with the embouchure. But we're not going to go into that right now either, because that's not the purview of this video. So we're going to start on a concert F, and we're going to play just the F in the staff. For trumpet players, that's your G. Okay, that G, not the lower G. So we're going to start just kind of in the middle of the range there, and we're going to take a deep breath, and we're just going to hold it and breathe as many times as you need to in between as you're holding each pitch. So don't think that you have to do it in one breath, because there's no resistance. There's very little resistance with the mouthpiece, and so you're probably going to run out of air pretty quickly. So you'll see me breathing as I need to. So here's F. You just hold the pitch. Okay? Now we're going to do a half step down from that. We're going to go down a little bit, so we're going to go to E. So that's a half step below us. So this was F. Now we're going to E. Okay? Let's go to E flat. Okay, let's go to D. Okay, let's go to C sharp. Now let's go to C. A little bit of saliva and condensation running down my hand, but it's all good. B. And now B flat. that feels great. So you notice, and I'm not even going to edit this out, but when I first started that, I was kind of like, it's kind of like a stutter start, and it was a little bit like a little bit rough start when I started on that F at the beginning. And that's because I haven't played anything at all today, so my lips are not warmed up or anything. But this is a great way to warm up. It's just using the mouthpiece to do long tones, okay? Long tones, which is what we were just doing with the mouthpiece, is something you should also do on the horn. Long tones are like weightlifting for your lips. You need to do it. Long tones help you hold pitches steady, and if you do what I'm doing right now with the drone or with the keyboard, you're going to strengthen your embouchure and your ears so much. Do not use a tuner. Do not use a tuner. Your ears are your tuners. Your ears will tell you if you're in tune or not. So always have some kind of pitch reference around, and with the advent of mobile, if you're watching this video, then you have internet, then you can find a free drone app somewhere on the internet. And so you should do that, because that's the most valuable thing you can do for yourself and for your playing. And now, when I play the horn, it's going to feel so much easier. Right? That feels so much easier, and my lips feel already like just completely warmed up. There might be some other things I do for warm-up exercise, but I play enough to where I don't actually do a lot of warming up, because I'm kind of always warm because I'm always playing. So do this exercise, and you should do this, and this is a great way to just practice, a great exercise to practice as like a main workout for your horn playing, is just playing with the mouthpiece and matching pitches, and of course go to the bottom range of your horn and go to the upper range of your horn, and it's going to help you hear the pitches, and it's going to help your lips and your mouthpiece create a relationship so you can effectively play your horn and manifest your imagination into the physical world. So I hope you guys enjoyed that lesson. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments down in the comment section below, and like, comment, subscribe, share if you found it useful and know some other young people or beginners that could find this useful, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you.